Remember when standing up from the couch didn't come with a sound effect? Or when reaching for something on the top shelf didn't feel like a mini workout? Yeah, me too. Midlife has a funny way of revealing what we used to take for granted, until it's not so easy anymore. But here's the thing. Mobility isn't something that just slips away like lost keys. It sends signals first, quiet nudges, a little stiffness here, a longer warm-up there. You might notice your balance isn't what it used to be, or that the stairs feel a bit more dramatic than they used to, and we chalk it up to being a little tired or just getting older. But what if those early signs are actually your body asking for attention, not resignation? Because here's what matters most. How you move now directly shapes how you'll feel in 10, 20, even 30 years. This isn't about becoming a yoga master or running a marathon. It's about being able to get up off the floor without thinking twice, carry groceries without a wince, walk confidently without that little wobble you didn't used to have. In this video, we're diving into the real markers doctors and movement experts look for when assessing mobility loss. And more importantly, how everyday people like us can actually reverse it. We're not chasing youth. We're building resilience. The kind that lets you travel, play with grandkids, enjoy your home, and feel strong doing it. So before we go further, if this kind of content speaks to you about making the most of midlife with intention, energy, and practical strategies, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss a single video that could genuinely change the way you move, eat, think, and age. It means the world to me and our entire community when you support this mission. And if you find value in what we talk about today, please like the video, share it with someone you care about, and let me know in the comments what health topic you want help with. This is your space too. All right, let's get real for a moment. Have you caught yourself avoiding sitting on the ground because you're not sure how easy it'll be to get back up? That subtle hesitancy is often one of the first signs your mobility's dialing back. Not in an obvious way, just a slight resistance. A mental note to lean on the table or brace with one hand. The technical term for this is functional decline, but let's call it what it is. Losing confidence in your own body's ability. What you can do is simpler than you think. Try this after the video. Sit down on a chair without using your hands. Then stand back up slow and controlled. If that feels difficult, you're not alone. And you're not stuck. Because the muscles that help you do that, your quads, glutes, and core, respond quickly to small, consistent efforts. Just 2 rounds of sit to stand a day can spark new strength. No gym, no gear, just you and your own weight. Another sign? Shorter strides. You might not even realize it until you hear someone mention how fast you used to walk. Your body starts guarding itself when joints feel tight or your brain picks up on instability. Short steps become the default. But here's what I want you to remember. Your walking stride is like a report card for your hips, knees, ankles, and even your posture. And reclaiming those longer, purposeful steps. It starts with gentle mobility work, like standing leg, swings, or ankle rolls while brushing your teeth. That's how we sneak better movement into real life. You ever notice how picking something up off the floor used to be a thoughtless movement? And now it's a negotiation? One knee cracks, the back gives a little protest, and suddenly you're asking yourself if it's really worth grabbing that dropped sock. These aren't random aches. They're red flags your body's waving. And the good news is they're also invitations to take back control. Let's talk about another quiet warning. Holding on to handrails, even when you don't really need to. At first, it seems like caution. Maybe you brushed it off as just being safe. But deep down, part of you doesn't fully trust your balance. And balance isn't just about staying upright. It's your body's real-time coordination between eyes, ears, feet, and joints. When even one of those starts lagging, we lean more, grip harder, slow down. But the secret most people miss? Balance can be trained, just like strength. Every time you stand on one foot while waiting for the microwave or brush your teeth with your eyes closed, you're teaching your brain and muscles to sync again. It doesn't need to take hours. Just tiny, playful challenges you build into your day. Now here's one a lot of folks keep private: avoiding uneven ground. You might still walk the dog or stroll through the park, but suddenly those forest paths feel a little too risky. Maybe you even turn down a beach day because sand feels unstable underfoot. You're not being overly cautious, you're being smart. But also, it's another whisper from your body. Ankles and hips are losing their adaptability, and your confidence knows it before you do. Here's where mobility gets exciting though, because regaining that trust in your steps doesn't mean a boot camp or intense stretching routine. It starts with small drills that mimic real-world situations. Try heel-to-toe walking along a hallway like it's a balance beam, or sidestepping gently while doing the dishes. These movements seem basic, but they restore the subtle control that lets you walk anywhere again: trail, beach, or bustling sidewalk. Let's not forget the emotional layer either. When mobility dips, independence feels like it's slowly being chipped away. You hesitate before booking that active vacation. You think twice about visiting a friend with stairs. But I want to be clear. Mobility isn't just about muscles. It's about confidence, freedom, dignity. And guess what? Reversing these signs doesn't require perfection. It needs consistency. You don't have to do an hour of training every day. You just have to not ignore the signs. Respond. Be curious. Be willing to reintroduce your body to movement it once knew by heart. Take a moment right now and do this little check-in. Can you balance on one foot for 10 seconds without wobbling? No shame if you can't. Just awareness. That's the first step. Every strong, mobile body you see over 50 didn't get there overnight. They just didn't stop trying. Sometimes the red flags don't come with noise. They creep in slowly, tucked into the most ordinary moments, like how long it takes you to stand up after sitting for a while. At first it's subtle. You linger in your seat a bit longer. You place both hands on your thighs to push off. Eventually it becomes routine, something you don't question but your body certainly notices. This slow-to-rise feeling? It's a telltale sign that your lower body strength is slipping, especially in your quads and glutes. And when those powerful muscles weaken, stairs feel taller, chairs feel deeper, and getting out of the car starts to resemble a yoga pose. But you don't need to accept that as your new normal. A simple way to test this right now? Try standing up from a chair without using your hands. If it feels like a strain, don't panic. Just make it your practice. Add it into your day. Every time you rise from your seat, do it with intention. Pause, plant your feet, engage your legs, then lift. That's one rep. And every rep is a quiet vote for your future independence. Here's another quiet signal: shorter steps. Noticed your stride getting smaller lately? You used to walk with rhythm and purpose. Now it's more of a shuffle, or you find yourself toe-tapping down curbs like they're cliffs. You might even catch yourself looking down more often, almost as if the ground's become unpredictable. This shortening stride is more than a habit. It's a protective mechanism. Your body's trimming the distance to reduce risk. But in doing so, it's also reinforcing weakness in your hip flexors and core stability. The fix doesn't require complicated workouts. It starts with bringing awareness back to how you walk. Consciously take longer steps when you're feeling secure. Roll through the foot. Let your arms swing naturally. Posture up. You're not just walking. You're rewiring patterns that keep you mobile longer. And speaking of posture, let's talk about what your shoulders are doing. If they're starting to round forward, if your head juts out a bit further than it used to, that's not just about tech neck or too much screen time. That's your posture giving way to gravity and tightness. And when the spine loses its upright anchor, mobility suffers all the way down. But here's the encouraging twist. Posture is one of the most responsive areas to focused attention. A few minutes a day of wall standing, back flat, heels touching, shoulders rolled back, can gently coax your alignment back into place. It feels awkward at first, like resetting a forgotten stance. But your body remembers. It's just waiting for the invitation to stand tall again. You're not here because you gave up on your body. You're here because you believe it can do more. And it absolutely can. Have you ever noticed yourself holding onto the railing just in case, even when your feet feel steady? That cautious hand. It's a quiet admission your balance isn't what it used to be. And that's okay. Because the truth is, balance is like a bank account. What you don't use, you slowly lose. But unlike some things in midlife, this one you can absolutely rebuild. One of the early warning signs? You avoid uneven surfaces. That cobbled sidewalk you used to stroll without a second thought now makes you hesitate. You might feel a slight wobble when stepping off a curb, or maybe you skip walks on grass altogether unless someone's nearby. It doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means your stabilizing muscles aren't getting challenged enough. The trick is to gently reintroduce those challenges. Stand on one foot while brushing your teeth. Walk heel to toe across the kitchen floor while your coffee brews. Practice shifting your weight from left to right with your eyes closed for just a few seconds. These tiny movements retrain your nervous system to trust your legs again. But mobility isn't only about muscles and movements, it's also about what you feel. Specifically, the loss of joint awareness, something most people never think about until it fades. That sensation that tells you where your knee or ankle is even with your eyes closed. It's called proprioception, and when it weakens, you bump into door frames more often. You misjudge where the stairs begin. You feel off but can't explain why. This can be one of the sneakiest signs of declining mobility, and also one of the easiest to reverse. Try barefoot time at home on safe flooring. Gently rolling your foot over a tennis ball while seated reawakens the nerve endings that help your body map where it is. Walking slowly in a straight line, focusing on each footfall, tunes your brain back into the dance between movement and awareness. Of course, none of this works without breath. That's the quiet driver behind every step, every lift, every stretch. But here's the thing. When we're stressed or distracted, which happens more in midlife than anyone likes to admit, our breathing changes. It becomes shallow, quick, chest-bound. And when breath shrinks, movement shrinks with it. Try this. Pause right now. Place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Feel the belly expand, not the chest. Then exhale slowly through your mouth. Try that a few times and notice what shifts, not just in your body, but in your mindset. It's incredible how much softer and more grounded we become when we give our breath the lead again. You're not falling behind. You're waking up to the power that's still within you. It's a strange moment the first time you sit down on the floor and quietly wonder how you'll get back up. You laugh it off, maybe even make a joke. Guess I'm not 20 anymore. But something sticks with you after that. A subtle awareness that rising from the ground now requires strategy, not just strength. That moment isn't just about age. It's about mobility whispering for your attention. And if getting up from low places feels harder lately, like couches that swallow you or beds that sit just a little too low, that's a clear sign your posterior chain needs care. That's your glutes, hamstrings, and lower back working together like teammates. When they weaken, you stop rising, you start pushing. With your hands, with momentum, with furniture. But the beautiful thing is, you don't need a gym to rebuild that strength. A few times a day, practice getting down to one knee and coming back up, not fast, not fancy, just focused. You can even place a sturdy chair nearby for support. This single move trains your whole body to trust itself again, and that trust carries into everyday movements you forgot were once effortless. Another clue often overlooked: you stop rotating. When was the last time you twisted around in your car seat to grab something from the back, or turned fully to talk to someone behind you? You might not even notice that your neck or spine avoids certain angles until you try and feel stiff, stuck, or sore. Rotation is one of the most underrated tools for aging well. Not dramatic yoga, twists, or athletic contortions, just daily natural spirals, sitting tall and gently looking over your shoulder, letting your spine follow. Standing and slowly sweeping one arm across your body, like you're clearing a curtain from a window. These motions reawaken your joints' range and tell your body, yes, we still go this way. And here's the truth no one talks about enough. You don't have to be pain-free to be mobile. You just have to be consistent in your effort, in your listening, in your curiosity about how your body moves. and how it could move better. Because mobility isn't youth, it's freedom. And freedom doesn't disappear, it gets reclaimed. Sometimes what really signals a shift in your body isn't pain, it's avoidance. You stop walking as far not because your legs are tired, but because the ground feels unfamiliar. You skip that park bench just off the trail because it's too much effort to reach. Or maybe you used to play with your grandkids on the floor, but now you offer them the couch. These changes are subtle, wrapped in convenience, but they chip away at the life you want. The final, and maybe most important, sign that mobility is slipping. You stop trusting your own balance. It could be the way you grab the railing every time you take the stairs, even if you don't need to. Or how you hesitate before stepping onto uneven ground. That flicker of hesitation, it matters. Because when your brain starts questioning your feet, your body follows, and confidence quietly erodes. But here's the good news. Balance can be trained just like strength. In fact, the two are deeply connected. A strong core helps you stand tall and shift your weight without wobbling. Stable ankles and hips communicate with your brain to keep you upright on curbs, gravel, or slick floors. Try this right now. Stand tall beside a chair or counter, lift one foot a few inches off the floor, and hold. Don't force anything. Just notice how long before you shift, before your toes curl for control, before your mind urges you to stop. That's your baseline. And from there, you build. Mobility isn't about moving like you're 20. It's about living like you mean it. It's about being able to chase the dog through the yard, carry groceries from the car without stopping, or reach the top shelf because you can, and not because someone else had to help. And remember, your future isn't built overnight. It's shaped by what you do between the big moments. That extra walk after dinner, those 30 seconds of balance practice while brushing your teeth, a deep breath before you rise from your chair, engaging your legs like you're lifting with purpose. These aren't small things. They're messages to your body, to your mind, that you're not giving up ground. You're taking it back. So let's make a pact. No more waiting for a wake-up call. No more ignoring the signs. You know your body better than anyone, and you know when something feels off. Don't dismiss it. Respond with love, with movement, with intention. And if this conversation spoke to you, I'd be honored if you hit that like button, subscribe for more helpful, real-world advice, and maybe even left a comment telling us where you're starting. Every journey matters, every voice counts, and every step forward, no matter how small, is a win worth celebrating. Here's to moving freely, living fully, and rewriting what midlife mobility looks like. You've got this.